Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Tuesday, September 30, 2025. And in the news this evening, search for missing Manchester schoolboy to continue tomorrow. The search for missing Manchester High student Jaden Smith continued up to mid-afternoon Tuesday, with firefighters, the police, and the volunteers going door to door in the Perth area of Mandeville. District officer at the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Fitzroy Donaldson, said the firefighters also checked unoccupied buildings for the schoolboy. He said so far the search has yielded no credible information to pinpoint the child's whereabouts. It was suspended just before 3 p.m.
Fitzroy Donaldson, district officer, Mandeville Fire Station. Well, we started the search operations with 13 members of staff. Some are on duty, quite a few of them are volunteers that came on their day off to volunteer their services for this cause. So we initially started our search operations in Perth Estate. That's the housing scheme, the new housing scheme on the outskirts of Mandeville. We conducted some searches in the empty houses that are over there, and we came up short. There was he was not there in that area. We got some information that he might have been on the Perth Drive road, Perth Drive in Mandeville. We visited that area and we still came up short. Clearly, some persons may be spreading misinformation, which we don't want at this time. However, we aim for a person to look out and look out and see if he's available. He's on the road, just wandering around and not just look out for him, please. We have not found any credible information because we have not seen him on any cameras with our own eyes. So we implore persons in the area to just look out for him. Our search will continue with additional information. If we get credible additional information, we will continue the search for missing Jaden Smith.
Smith has been missing since Friday when he left the school. Police on Saturday activated a high alert a day after the 12-year-old boy went missing. In a release, police said Jaden is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 152 centimeters or 5 feet tall. 67-year-old man mowed down on North Coast Highway. The Trelawney police are probing the circumstances surrounding the death of a pedestrian who was mowed down by a motorcar as he attempted to cross a section of the North Coast Highway Monday night. The deceased has been identified as 67-year-old woodcarver Patrick Jackson of a Salter Marsh Trelawney address. According to police reports, about 10:30 p.m., Jackson was hit by a Toyota Voxy motorcar on a section of the North Coast Highway in the vicinity of Boca Gate. He was transported to the Falmouth Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Jackson's death pushes the number of road fatalities in Trelawney since the start of the year to 19. Seaton Crescent, Westmoreland residents protest over fatal police shooting. There was a tense standoff between the police and the residents of Seaton Crescent in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland today as they protested the fatal shooting of one of their own during an alleged confrontation with cops. The deceased has been identified as Desmond Montague, a former Godfrey Stewart High School footballer. The incident happened shortly after 1 p.m. Residents contended that a police team kicked in the door of Montague's house, and shortly after, 3 shots were heard. When them drag him out, the man was only in his underpants. His 3 shots were here and his 3 shots him get. So how that was a shootout, said a resident. Desmond was a quiet, easygoing youth. He was never ever in trouble with the law, so I want to see how the police going to explain this, the resident added. Because we are protest, the police them come tear gas we. But we want justice. Them just can't walk around and kill people like that. We have to ball out about it. efforts to contact the Savannah Lamar police were unsuccessful. Another major ganja bust in St. Thomas, 2 men charged. The police have made another major ganja bust in St. Thomas. Members of the Counterterrorism and the Organized Crime Investigation Branch, supported by the Firearms and the Narcotics Investigation Division, on Friday intercepted 2 vehicles along the Pampret Main Road and seized 1,600 pounds of compressed ganja, which were in 33 knitted bags. 2 men, 41-year-old Ryan Chambers of White House, Westmoreland, and 30-year-old Tekashi Foster of Slipe, St. Elizabeth, were arrested and charged with the possession of ganja, dealing in ganja, taking steps preparatory to export ganja, and trafficking ganja. Their court date is being finalized. This marks the second major ganja seizure in St. Thomas in just over a week, as the CTOC intensifies efforts to disrupt the illegal guns for drugs trade. On Sunday, September 21, more than 1,900 pounds of compressed ganja with an estimated street value of $5.7 million were seized during an operation in Dumfries. 2 men were seen with a quantity of knitted bags and were accosted. A boat was also seized during the operation. The men, 39-year-old Jermaine Thompson of Retreat, St. Thomas, and 27-year-old William Reed, have since been charged with possession of ganja, dealing in ganja, and taking steps preparatory to export ganja. The public is being reminded to report illegal firearms and narcotics by contacting FNID at 876-923-6184, the National Intelligence Bureau at 811, Crime Stop at 311, or the nearest police station. Attorney bemoans high number of cases set for Michaelmas session of St. Anne Court. President of the Northern Jamaica Law Society, Pearline Bailey, is bemoaning the high number of cases set for trial during the Michaelmas session of the St. Anne Circuit Court. Ms. Bailey described as massive the list of 302 cases set for trial over the next 4 weeks. Speaking with the news on Monday, following the first sitting of the court, she said the high figure is a reflection of the crime rate in the parish. She is therefore encouraging more interventions to tackle crime.
It seems almost insurmountable. Certainly we will not be able to get through that number of cases in the next 4 weeks. A number of matters will have to be traversed. We have seen some significant increases in terms of the numbers. Lottery scamming is outstripping murder presently. We certainly hope that we'll be able to get through as much work as possible, but we have to do something about crime in St. Anne, because at the rate it is increasing, we will never be able to deliver justice to persons in a timely fashion.
JCF must repair damage to public trust after Cherry Tree Lane fatal shooting, says Samuels. Attorney at law Bert Samuels says that the Jamaica Constabulary Force must seek to repair damage to public trust following the fatal shooting of 22-year-old Jamar Ferguson in Cherry Tree Lane, Clarendon, 2 weeks ago. Mr. Samuels has described the response of the police high command to the outcry over the incident as an arrogant and insensitive approach. The shooting has renewed the calls from civil society groups and the Independent Commission of Investigations for the use of body-worn cameras by security forces during planned operations. But the police high command has said the calls falsely imply resistance from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, adding that even with the imminent acquisition of 1,000 cameras, there will remain significant coverage gaps due to logistical and financial realities. It added that operational decisions will not be dictated by advocacy groups and INDECOM. Speaking Tuesday with the news, Mr. Samuel said the demand from the groups is reasonable.
It's obvious that we're right-thinking Jamaicans and the police high command are now not on the same page. The revolt that has taken place from that video a video an incident which happened where 8 persons were murdered earlier last year, I think it was, has left us in a state of rage. How can the police, who operate with taxpayers' money, be offended by a group asking when and asking that it be now?
Civil society advocate Judith Wedderburn said she is distressed by the shooting, adding that it has shifted the public's perception of how the Jamaica Constabulary Force views its rights to speak on matters that concern it.
I am really very distressed that this could represent some early, dangerous signs of the leadership of the Jamaica Constabulary Force not wanting the public to exercise their right to freedom of speech. The more I think about it, and I listen, thank you, Bert, for raising the point that if you don't have anything to hide, nobody cameras. The matters of accountability and transparency. And this is against the background of other previous concerns expressed for other occasions.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.